I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Shermikia Lemon. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Awesome. Doing really well. Hope you are.
I am. It's a great pleasure to connect with you.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. What part of the world are you in right now?
Oh, I'm in North Carolina. So I'm not sure if you're familiar, but I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah, I was there recently. Well, I drove through Greensboro. I think I drove through Well, someone drove me around, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I was in Raleigh. How far
Yes.
is Raleigh from Greensboro?
That's only about an hour away.
So
So
I
it's not.
was, yeah, so I probably wasn't there then. So yeah, but North Carolina is pretty cool.
Yes, it's awesome. Nice and quiet.
Yeah, it is. It was quiet. So tell us, which of your talents is responsible for us meeting?
Let's see. I believe we connected on LinkedIn.
We did.
Yes, we connected on LinkedIn. And so, again, I'm Shermikia Lemon. I'm a productivity coach and corporate wellness consultant, and I own Peacefully Profitable.
Yeah, tell us more about peacefully profitable. Do those two words go together?
Yeah, I think so. In some cases, I believe it can. So, I work with employers to sustain their retention and bottom line by delivering effective productivity strategies to their employees. And I also work with individuals to help them be more productive and meet their personal and business goals as well.
And what about your podcast? Tell me about your podcast.
So my podcast was put together to actually help people who, maybe don't have time to really have a one-on-one with individuals, and just like maybe on their car ride to work, or going to the gym or in the gym, just listening to it to get like daily updates on how to balance life, how to be productive, like leadership, being profitable in your business, and those types of things. So I do actually also have guests on my podcast as well, and then there will be some that I'll throw in there when it's just me, where I'll think of a topic to come up with, or it may have been something that I was speaking with a client in a one-on-one session, and I decided to make it a podcast. So that's pretty much what that's about as well.
Sounds like fun. Do you have fun on your podcast?
I do have fun. I have a lot of fun with it. Every season, well, I'm starting season 2 now, but I'd like to go back and just kind of think about some of the things that I can improve, or if there were some things that I wasn't able to touch on in a podcast, but someone asks a question about it, I want to make sure that I hit on that, in the next session. But it is a lot of fun recording and just talking to other people and learning about their businesses and their personal lives and those types of things.
Now, definitely putting peace back into the business place to create profit must have some challenges. Otherwise, you would need to be doing what you're doing, right? I'd like to know, who did you learn this skill from?
So I have a master's degree in peace and conflict studies, and so during that, this actually was not my intention, was to start a business doing this particular thing. I always wanted to start a business, but I wasn't 100% sure until after completing this master's degree in peace and conflict studies. So I started out where I was only doing one thing, and that was going into employers or different corporations and training them on workplace conflict, right? To bring about that peace that we also miss in corporate America. There's not a lot of it, when people think of their 9 to 5 or their corporate job that they go to on a daily basis. Peace is not going to be the first word that they think of. It's not going to be the word that flashes in front of their eyes. And so after taking a couple of courses and then working in corporate America myself, I felt like this was definitely a need. There was a need. I saw a need. I experienced the need in all of that, and kind of bringing that piece back into the corporations and into organizations. And so I started out again just doing workplace conflict. That was the only training that I had. And then I saw a need for other things. So that's when I brought in the productivity and the leadership skills and those types of things as well.
That's great. Wow. Well, tell me one other thing that you've done. Wait, before we do that, where can we reach you? Where can someone reach out for your services? What's the best place?
Oh, okay. So it's going to be So peacefullyprofitable.com. I can be found there, or Shermika at Peacefully Profitable. Maybe easier to just go to info at Peacefully Profitable, because that's also one of my emails. And on Facebook, all of social media, if you just Google Peacefully Profitable, all of it should come up that way.
Wonderful. Well, tell me, Shamika, one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Consistently, wow. As far as business, or in either personal, either way, or
Yeah, let's do personal.
I have consistently ensured that everything that I do in my life does bring about some portion of peace to me, because it's something that's very, very important. It's the reason why I named my business the way that I did. I always, because of my personality, I am a true introvert. And just because of my personality, the surroundings, my upbringing, all of that, it's just always, my life has just kind of always been peaceful. Now, there have been some times, here and there, that were out of my control, that I really, I had no control over. And so there may have been some times here and there where I wasn't at peace. But it's something that definitely, for the last 3 years, if I had to answer that question honestly and authentically, it would be that I've made sure that every area of my life had some portion of peace in it.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel awesome. I mean, and really, really good. Like I said, I'm not going to say that I've always been this way, or that my life has just totally been peaceful, because I can remember, there have been some times where it hasn't always been that way. But I know that it's something that I need to stay sane, really. And so I just make sure that what I can do and what is in my control, that is something that I'm on top of at all times.
Suggest to someone out there, someone who may be in corporate America, or someone who may be an entrepreneur, why they should do what you've done by putting on peace every day, every 24 hours.
Well, a lot of the things that happen in corporate America, it's not something that we should take personally. And that's one of the things that I like to teach people when I'm going in. The things that happen in corporate America oftentimes don't have anything to do with the employee. There's a goal that has to be met. There are, statistics. There are, just like I said, there are numbers that everyone in the corporation, they're trying to meet. And I think that sometimes that can come off as the employees not feeling valued or important, or included in what some of the decisions are that are made. And so, that can just make someone feel like they're just not a part of the decision or the ending result of things. And it can make someone kind of take those things personally. And that's actually one of the top reasons why people don't feel at peace in their jobs, because they feel like they're just a number, or they're just going in to meet these numbers for other people, and their input is just not important, or it's not included. And so just try not to take those things personally. There are goals. Every business has to have a goal, a mission, a vision, in order for it to be sustainable. And so if you look at it that way versus, oh, I'm not being seen, or I'm not being heard, or they're not taking my opinion seriously, try to view it as, if I were running a business, I would have a mission, I would have a vision as well. And I want those goals and those things to be met. So just try to kind of view it in a different light.
Amazing audience, we are live with Shermikia Lemon. Shermika is the podcast host of Peacefully Profitable. Ooh, tongue twister. Peacefully Profitable. Definitely going to leave that in there. So I'll say it one more time. Peacefully Profitable podcast. It's 3 P's, right, Shermika?
It's kind of tricky.
Well, let's switch gears for a moment now, Shermika. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Shermika, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh, okay. I remember spending my Saturdays at my grandmother's house with all of my cousins. Like, we were so close, so tight. And then we would all gather there. The kids would be outside playing, and the adults obviously inside, just kind of talking and chit-chatting. So that would be something that I totally remember.
How old do you think you were?
I would say around between 8 to 10.
Wow. Why do you think this memory is so clear?
It was a really happy time. Like there were no worries. Again, I know that word peace is very popular tonight, but like it's my key word, and so that is actually something that I think about when I think about that time period between those ages and spending that time at my grandmother's house. It was just it was kind of carefree, no worries, just outside playing and just having fun.
Well, that's intriguing. Well, can I add to what you've said already, for my aspect of the. So let me say the words I usually say. Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
I love the fact that there's the peace, like that is clear, right? The peace part. But
Yeah.
I also want to add something that may be overlooked, which is the profit part.
Yes.
For your grandparents to have you there, I'm guessing having all of your cousins there meant that they had some type of money to fulfill the needs of those children, which was necessary, right? The profit side, the
Yes.
having your house in order. And I'm guessing that has impacted you just as much as the peaceful side. And now that's what you're doing. You're helping businesses be peacefully profitable.
Yes. Yes. That's pretty good there.
Yeah, it is intriguing. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Oh wow. Let's see if I can remember 12. I don't know if I can remember my favorite song then. I believe Whitney Houston was popular back then, and so like all of her songs. I think that around that time, I'm telling my age here, but I believe that's when the song where she was talking about children being the future. I can't remember the name of it right off.
All right, all right. Well, it's fascinating how it connects, right? Like the earliest childhood memory, children in the house, children being the future. Pretty intriguing, right?
Yes.
All right, my friend.
Wow. That's something.
Well, Shermikia, we have arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to go pretty quickly here. Shermikia, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have children?
Yes.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Probably more than 8 hours.
All right. Shermikia, after having 1,001 conversations in 3 months, I came up with a workbook, and the name of the workbook is yours, and it stands for your own unique real self. Connected to that is your own unique real statement, your mission. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Shermikia Lemon, what would you say that is?
Just try to enjoy life as much as you possibly can. Don't take it too seriously. Just seek out that happiness and definitely figure out what your purpose is, not just your passion, but what is your purpose, and then try to put the two together.
Hey, there's one word you're leaving out. You said it, you painted it all over this podcast.
Yes. And remain peaceful.
Love it. Shermikia Lemon, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, it was an awesome podcast. Thank you so much for having me on. I've listened to some of your previous recordings, and it's just been great, amazing. And again, I'm very grateful. So thank you.
You are welcome, Shermikia Lemon. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.